Africa, where my story comes from. And the story is called Mazande di Daba and the Magical Story Shell. Now before I begin the story, I would like to sing a song. And all of you join with me. The song is something which we all know. You can join the chorus. I've changed the lines to suit the story. So it's a song from Lion King. We all know the song. So we can rejoin. A whim away, 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 a whim away. Hear this story, this magical story from the land of Africa. The wise eagle and the dolphin help out Mazande di Daba. A whim away, 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 a whim away. This a story, a beautiful story, written by Jacina. The spirit king and the queen give the magical shell to Mazande di Daba. A whim away, 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 a whim away. So, long ago, so long ago, that is not important to remember how long ago and when, people lived in small villages all across the world. And in one such village lived a woman named Mazande di Daba. She lived in a beautiful house by the beach with a husband and 2 children. Mazande Daba loved her family a lot. She taught her children skills like cooking, collecting firewood, fetching water, and making baskets and mats. But most importantly, the children loved to go down to the beach, where would they have a nice swim and splash water on themselves and catch a fish or 2 if they were lucky for lunch. Their father's name was Zenzele, a strong, handsome man who made sculptures. Zenzele would see a bird or a butterfly flying and immediately capture the image in his mind. Come home, take a piece of wood, carve out that image and put it up on his wall, which his family would admire. Soon, the entire house was decorated with Zenzele's work and the village would come and look at it. Things were fine for quite some time in Mazande Daba's life, but she felt that there was something missing. And yes, of course, there was something missing. Can you tell me what it was? Can you? Exactly. There were absolutely no stories. Can you imagine a world without stories? Every day after supper, the people would gather around the fire, look up at the sky and watch the stars growing from hundreds to thousands to millions. Occasionally, they would look at the white, beautiful moon or listen to the wind whistling away, woo, 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 as if trying to tell them a story. But there was nothing. Mothers and grandmothers tried so hard to get a story, but they couldn't get anything. And finally they would yawn and go to sleep. But when they would sleep, there was no dream because there were no stories. Imagine a world without stories and dreams. It was tragic. It was terrible. One day, Zenzele suggested to Mazande Daba that she go to the nearby forest and plains, and maybe she would meet an animal or a creature who might have a story and help her out. With a heart full of hope, Mazande Daba set out to the forest the very next day, and she went walking. And the first animal that she met was the hare, who was a trickster even then. Yeah, I know a lot of stories. I can tell you the story of, but look at the time I have to run. And he ran away. Liar, the hare didn't know any story. Next, she met Mother Baboon, who said, you human children are so problematic. You feed them, you give them clothes, you give them a house to stay, and on top of that they want stories? Thank God I'm not a human and I don't have human children. Mamba the snake said, I don't even know what a story is, and slithered away into the grass. The owl was so cross and said, Don't you know I sleep during the day? You have disturbed my sleep. Where do you think I'll get stories from? I'm awake at night. Do you think I'll get stories at night? And went back to sleep. Mazan Daba was ready to give up all hope of finding a story when she met a big grey elephant coming her way. And he said, I don't know any story, but I think the eagle who soars high in the sky and meets the horizon, he may be able to help you. Mazan Daba thanked the elephant, and the next day she was sitting in her house looking into the sea when all of a sudden a fish eagle landed in front of her house with a big fish in its mouth. Oh eagle, wait, don't fly away, I need to talk to you. And Mazan Daba ran towards the eagle. The eagle got startled and jumped and dropped its fish and said, look what you've made me do, I've dropped my lunch, and why are you disturbing me during my lunchtime? Oh eagle, only you have to help me, only you have to help me, said Mazan Daba. How can I help you? I'm after all an eagle. You're the only one who can help me, said the elephant. Eagle, just give me one story from your family. Oh, wise eagle. The eagle, on being called wise, smiled and said, aha, it's very kind of you to call me wise. You see, my dolphin friend tells me there are no stories on the land. They're all kept underwater where the spirit king and queen live with the spirit people. And my friend, the dolphin can take you there anytime. Mazan Daba was so happy that she was ready to jump into the water. The eagle said, wait, you don't even know which dolphin I'm talking about. Wait here. So Mazan Daba waited for some time, and the eagle returned and said, look over there, who has come? Mazan Daba turned and she saw the dolphin and greeted him in African language, Swabona, Swabona, dolphin. And the dolphin smiled back with a smile that he had been to all secret and magical places. Dolphin suggested to Mazan Daba they get onto his back, hold onto his fin, and they go down while it was daylight. And with a large splash, dubuk, dubuk, they went down to the underwater sea. And out there, Mazan Daba was in for a magical, spectacular treat. There was so much of light, brighter than this, though there was no sun and moon. And she realized that the light was coming from the eyes of the people as if they had stars in them. And when they spoke, it was like music. Soon, she was introduced to the king and the queen, the spirit king and queen. And the king said, of course, I can give you plenty of stories, but what will you give us in return? Mazan Daba had no idea. What should she give such a beautiful place who had everything and was so beautiful? She in fact wanted to stay back there. Mazan Daba thought, and the spirit queen said, you see, we cannot come up to the land where you live, but we would like to see where our stories are going. So why don't you give us a nice sculpture or a picture of your house and your family? And Mazan Daba had her idea. She thanked them and told them that she would come back immediately, quite soon. And she got onto the dolphin's back and went back to the shore. Zenzele was waiting there anxiously because he didn't know where his wife had gone. But Mazan Daba told him to wait and promised the dolphin that she would meet him 3 days at sunrise. And then sat down with her family and told them her entire adventure. But most importantly, she told them what she had promised the spirit queen. Zenzele immediately knew what he had to do. He took a beautiful piece of wood, carved out his house, his beautiful wife, himself, his 2 children, and all the animals that Mazan Daba had encountered during her journey. 3 days later, Mazan Daba was ready with the wooden carving of the family and was waiting at the shore for the dolphin, and the dolphin was there for her. She got onto the dolphin's back and again with a large splash went down to the bottom of the sea. The spirit people were so enchanted with the beautiful work of Zenzele, and the king as a gift gave him a beautiful shell necklace. But after that he pulled out a big, pink, magical looking shell and told her that it contained hundreds and thousands of stories, and every time she wanted to listen to a story, she had to place it to her ear and she could hear a story. Thanking the king and queen from the bottom of her heart, she got onto the dolphin's back and went to the shore. But this time, not only were her husband, Zenzele, and her children waiting, but also the villagers of her village, and the next, and the next. And she also saw there the trickster hare, Mother Baboon with her children, the owl, the elephant, and the eagle, all waiting anxiously to hear the story. It was quite late afternoon when the crowd sat down, and Mazan Daba took the magical shell and held it to her ear and heard the story and said, "Wasikwesekela." Would you like that to repeat that with me? Wasikwesekela, which means it happened a long time ago. "Kosi, Kosi," replied the crowd, which means we are ready to listen. And that is how the first story was told in the world. And after they listened to the first story, they said, "One more, one more." And from that day onwards, Mazan Daba told them every day a story. And the stories traveled from one village to another, from one continent to another. And that is how I'm here telling you the story. Thank you.